Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Mitch Rap Plays, or Plays, not Plays. We're doing a quick look. Quick look of Chasm. It is a game by Discord Games, as you can see there at the bottom. It's in early access. I believe it's still in alpha. It might be in beta. Either way, it's in early access. I was a Kickstarter backer, so I got a code for the game. I think you can pick it up on Steam, though. In the early access form. In fact, I should probably just look real quick for you, so you know I'm an adult. I think you can. I'm not 100% sure, but it says it's going to be coming out here for full release before the end of the year in 2015. It doesn't have an exact date on the Steam page yet, and I couldn't find anything on the Discord Games website. Granted, it was a pretty quick perusal of it, but anyways, what is Chasm? Well, let's just get into it, and I'll kind of explain as we go. I've had a few different plays here, but you can see you've got you can have up to 12 different saves, and we just select an icon, so maybe in case you can't read, you can just say, oh, I'm the bat one, and then you can play on normal or hardcore, scored, and with permanent death. So there are leaderboards. I have not actually done any hardcore runs. I don't believe that you can play the whole game yet, so I'm not sure how hardcore would work, but normal. So we're just gonna Joel. This is my father's name. I feel like that's good, but it's procedurally generated. And we're going to get a quick little cutscene here. A letter has arrived at a military outpost on the border of the kingdom of Gildia. According to the letter, a recent earthquake has uncovered new passages deep in the mines below Carthus. Several of the town's miners have since reported sightings of hideous monsters lurking in the shadows. Puzzled by the outlandish reports, the commander, whoever that is, decides to send a new recruit named Dalton to investigate. After weeks of travel, he reaches the remote mining town as an ominous chill overcomes him. Well, he's probably chilly because it's fucking snowing out, but either way, as you see here, we play as Dalton. It's pixelated graphics, however, it is very pretty, and I'm playing with a 360 controller, wireless. That deer always runs away. So we've got our town here. We can, buy some shit from this lady. We can't buy anything right now because we don't have any. We don't have any money, but this is definitely more items, I think, than the last build that I had. This, I'm pretty sure, just replenishes our health, so I don't know why I'm going to use it. Bonfires. Interesting. Dark Soulsian, for sure. It's basically your save points. So we'll save here so we don't have to go through that first cutscene. This is locked. And I'll have you notice that these are all boarded up, which is interesting. You can see this is kind of, highlighted or whatever. We do our little Zelda over the head thing, and we find the undelivered letter. Commander, the situation has become dire since my last letter. It appears the reports of my men were true, and there is indeed something foul, like a foul, lurking below. Please send help immediately. JQ Carthus III. P.S. Please use the enclosed key to enter the mine. So we get a key. This is also... Will these guys? They won't. Thought maybe they would jump away. So we can, like I said, jump with the A button. X uses our X hand. I'm guessing it seems to be... It actually seems to be whatever hand is closest to us on the screen, but I think I don't think it actually corresponds to a hand. If we go this way, we just end up back at the beginning of the town. It's like a forever loop. So, however, I wonder if we go left here. I guess I've never done that before. Oh, we come back to the mine. So it is procedurally generated. However, these first two rooms are the same. We'll probably get to that teleporter here before the end of the episode or the quick look. But now it will all be different. And so it is very much... Oh, Shiv. We already picked up a Shiv. Shit. That's pretty sweet. So we can equip the Shiv. And Now we have the Shiv move, which is actually really nice for enemies that are on the ground like this, and we can fucking get them. And then we've got we can swipe down like that, but it's a little bit harder. Anyways, the short sword, which is our X weapon, this weapon, is a little bit longer in range, but the Shiv is super nice for certain enemies. I'll show you later. So it's an action platformer. It's a Metroidvania. Oh fuck, that was terrible. As you can see, we do have a mana bar and an XP bar. The XP bar is a little different than it used to be. I believe the bar was there in previous builds. There's a Shiv use that actually is quite nice. In previous builds, when you killed an enemy, it dropped experience that you had to pick up, and they did away with that in, I don't know if it's in this build or it was a previous, I don't know if it was 0.53 or 0.58 or whatever the hell this is, or if it was like 0.4 something or 0.3 something that they changed it in. But it used to be they drop these little orbs. So like, watch, when I hit this, you see these blue orbs? Those are mana orbs. Mana, whatever. Refills our mana up there at the top. It's at 20 right now, so it's not refilling it because it's already full. We don't have any magical items to use. We've leveled up. It automatically levels you up as far as I can tell. I don't believe you get to choose like, hey, I want to put a point into strength or luck or whatever. There is an RPG style progression though. As you can see, now our mana is at 22, and our maximum health did go up, and our attacks went up from 9 to 10 with this weapon, and the same with the other weapon. What the hell was I saying? In previous builds there used to be these little orbs. Oh, we have a chest. Max 3 HP, elixir of life. That's very nice. And we picked up a brown feather down there earlier out of one of those boxes. Those are artifacts, and we can trade those later for if we get 3 artifacts. They're like collectibles. You can trade them to an NPC who we haven't found yet, because obviously we just started the game, for things that will help us on our journey. So I haven't, found a whole lot of things. Please die, thank you. But you can trade them. I think you could get an elixir of life from her that gives you plus 3 HP, which is pretty sweet. So we push up here, a part is missing. Clearly our elevator's not going to work until we find that part. We can hit select to find see our map and kind of see, all right, this is where we need to go, because we can kind of see where we're at now. That beacon below us, we haven't been down there. We can't get down there because we don't have the part to use the elevator. We couldn't go far to the right there, even though you can see it extends more, because we had to get our slide ability. We don't have that. It should be noted, we're in the mines right now. Karthus is the town, the mines, and then there are other biomes, I guess, or areas. So we can save here, and saving does not replenish your mana as far as I can tell, but it does replenish your health. And so you can see we have 45 gold, 163 experience, 187 experience to next level, 22 kills. We've explored 11 rooms. Our time, game mode, there's a seed. So if you can put a seed in when you start a game, like, hey, I want to play the same seed as my buddy, and we could do races or something. I don't know how long the game is going to be in its final build, but apparently there's going to be some speedrunning aspect to it. So I can't imagine that, I think if you explored everything and found all the stuff and leveled up and all that bullshit, that's not bullshit. That's the fun of the game. And did the more in-depth playthrough, probably not doing a speedrun, probably not sitting down in one sitting and beating it like you could a Mega Man type game. Not sure why I just compared this to Mega Man. I need a drink because I am parched. Now, our pause menu here. We got equipment. We don't have any accessories or head or body equipment to do yet. The brown feather, a plain brown feather. The Lidori thought brown to be the color of fertility. Interesting. We have our journal. We can reread that letter that we picked up earlier. Artifacts. Nothing. So I guess the brown feather is a trinket. It's not an artifact. Excuse me. We have our map that we can also look at there. Options. Options are pretty limited. I've got the music and the sound volume down to 50 because it's otherwise it gets a little loud. Full screen and then scale. I don't really know what scale does. And then quick game. Oh shit! I didn't mean to click on that, but we'll move on. So we're still in the mines here, the caves. The room layouts now. It's kind of like Isaac, the Binding of Isaac, in the fact that, room layouts, they basically put a bunch of rooms together. And, certain rooms fit together with certain rooms. And so the rooms are the way the rooms are laid out is procedurally generated, but the rooms themselves are not. Like, you're going to run across very, very similar rooms from time to time. And which is good. My buddy just texted me. I've caused a gambling addict apparently. Set him up on a website. Told him about a website that you can bet on some NFL games for, and the legality of it. Don't worry about that so much. Anyways, he's fucking hooked. We bet on the Vikings game yesterday, and he won, and so now he thinks that he can win every time he bets. And of course, that's just the way it works. Like, you always win your first bet. We bet on the Vikings to win the spread. Oh, what is this? We had another page. Basden Globe entry. What the fuck? Entry number 1. I have finally found evidence of the tribe rumored to live in these mountains thousands of years ago. It may be that these are ghost raiders, mentioned in many ancient texts, but for the purpose of my studies I shall refer to them as the Ladori tribe, in respect to the Ladorian mountains in which they once lived. Alright, that's good. So you have these crates. Obviously, I didn't really talk about gold. Ooh, bone arrowhead. So that's another, not artifact, but trinket. So hopefully we find that NPC, which we likely will before we end this quick peek. What am I calling these? I think quick peeks. Quick look is something that another YouTuber has already used. So I kind of want to go back. As you can see, it's very much like, all right, how much of the area have we explored? We went this way, all right. Some of the jumps are very, I wouldn't say they're pixel perfect jumps. That would be misleading. That is fucking poison. You can't jump in that. So you can kind of farm enemies for experience. That should be noted, because you'll see that these enemies reappear as we, oh shit, good thing we came back. The magic knife. So this is a magic weapon, and we're gonna pick up some more gold here. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? That's kind of bullshit. That should be grabbable no matter what. We can't because we don't have the slide, but we will equip the magic knife, and you'll see that it does have a considerable. It's an attack is 6. Oh, you can see that from the main pause menu. So our X attack is 10 damage, and our B attack is 6. And then you can see the rest of our stats. Strength is 9, Intelligence 6, Constitution 6, and Luck is 7. So there are random drops. So like that Shiv drop that we got earlier, which was our B weapon there for a little while. That's our magic knife ability. That's random. Like, I don't know if you could pick up the Shiv from a chest later. I don't know if you can pick up multiple shivs. That's possible. I know you can sell items to certain NPCs, so that it might be possible to pick up more than one shiv. But it's very much kind of an RPG action, 2D side-scrolling action platformer in the, Metroid kind of. Ooh, that was actually pretty nice. Not gonna lie. We'll use, how many we gotta use there? That's quite a bit. But pretty much every time we break one of these, it seems like we get some mana points, which, ooh, there's a crit. And that, looks like that magic knife actually flew all the way over here. So it's not just off screen. If you let those guys, if you don't take care of those guys right away, they drop. And cause you some damage. So this early game, granted I played it a little bit, it's a little easier than or it's not as easy as I'm probably making it look, but it's not real difficult right now in its current state. Except for when you do that. Once you kind of know the enemy patterns, it's pretty easy to predict, but we will run into some much more difficult enemies soon. When you do level up, your HP is restored and your mana is not, but your strength and things, those do go up. So your attack power will go up artificially, and not artificially, but just with the fact of leveling up. No double jump kind of throws me off. I don't know why there would be a double jump, but there isn't. At least maybe it's a, oh shit, maybe it's a ability that you gain later in the game, but it is not something you start with. So we'll do some more exploring here. Oh, here's that NPC I was telling you about. So we saved this chick. Thank you for rescuing me, but the rest of my family is still down here somewhere. Visit me in the tavern next time you are in town, and do be safe. Thank you. I don't know why I'm using shit there. So you can use gold in the town to purchase new stuff. And like I said, I don't know how long the game is. Here's another save point, so we'll do that. We up to 65 health now. I would like to get Dick. So there's these little altars. I would like to get the beauty of these games, right? So we can see our map, and we know. Can we zoom out? We know that there's a point. I wish my mouse pointer would work, but it's basically right in the center right now. And you can see that that room goes further to the left, but we couldn't get there. And that's a point because we had to slide under that, and we don't have that ability. To the right, the far right is the same thing. We couldn't slide because we didn't have that ability. But once we pick up that slide ability, we're going to be able to explore more of the map. So it's kind of a lot of backtracking and stuff like that, but that's the fun of the game. Back to these altars. So there's these altars. We feel open to learning. So I don't know exactly what that does. I would guess that it's an experience booster, right? So while we have that active, there's that little book up there at the top with that meter that's counting down. And my guess is, while that's active, we, gain more XP per kill. We got the incisor fossil, and that is going to be our third trinket, which is good because we'll be able to trade that to the lady. You're the lady, Miranda, in town when we get there. These fucking slimes, dude. What is this, Terraria? This is bullshit. I have not run into this many slimes. I don't know that I ran into any when I was kind of just playing this as, like, just sitting down to kind of get reacclimated. Like I said, I'm playing with the 360 controller. The controls are very responsive, even with a wireless controller, which sometimes there's some input lag there because of the wirelessness, if you will. Controls feel very good. Controls very well. I think the game looks very nice. I do like the music. I think it sets... I want that, whatever that is. Oh, I bet we can get down there this way. I got super lucky. Those spikes are not instant killer. At least they weren't in the last build that I played. However, you don't want to step on them, obviously. Bright white spikes are never the direction you want to... You don't want to, test fate. See, that's one of those jumps that's not pixel perfect, but it's definitely harder. The tabard. I don't know what the tabard is. Let's check out our equipment. And you don't get items in the same order. So this is a body equip. It increases our attack of obviously a magical weapon by 1, and it increases our, so the intelligence increases our magical attack, so our magic knife, and then our defense goes up by 1 as well. And it's a commoner's garments made of rough spun wool. Well, why wouldn't our intelligence go up if we wore that? And we're gonna get our first boss fight here, which is interesting. Can we go this way? We can. Like most other early people, the Lidori seem to have deified animals. From what I have gathered, they believe the great bird laid an egg that contained our world. It also appears that they thought the sun to be the eye of the bird. Very odd. Strangely, there seems to be another world on the opposite side. Perhaps they first dug these tunnels in a vain attempt to reach that world? Question mark? So I'm going to probably give this another 5, maybe 10 minutes. I would like to get back to town, but we're not going to, look at all the game has, or all this build has to offer yet. Mainly because I don't really want to spoil too much for myself, although I did play through more of this. A lot of this. So here's our first cave. And he's not a super tough boss. I'm going to make him look a lot harder than he actually is. Please jump. Thank you. So he does this little attack, then we jump over it, and we hit him a couple of times. Then we jump. Oop, shit. And we hit him. Okay, I might actually die here, which would actually kind of piss me off. I gotta focus now. I can't fuck around. He's gonna jump. Oh, he's not gonna jump. Oh, he got me. I was fucking right there. I should have had him. Oh, we need to beat this boss. Load last save. So we get our little loading screen here. It's a very good game. It's a very good. However, we're actually quite a ways from where we were. Open to learning still, so that doesn't change. We do want to go this way to get our ooh, shit. I thought that was totally, I'm an idiot. Turn around, bitch. So we got to go back through all this, which is, I think it's a decent way to kind of punish the player for, dying. There should be some punishment. I think games today, in general, I mean, there's plenty of games like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, and I know I'm mentioning mainly FromSoft games here, and games of the Souls series, but other games that make dying party hard is one that comes to mind. Punishes the player for dying, which I think is something that is lacked a little bit, with the ability to quick save anywhere you want and things of that nature. This game, you have save points. You can only save at those save points, from what I can tell anyways. I'm not going to fuck around with these dudes too much. I think we're just going to kill them as we need to. And quickly just kind of run through. There are some puzzles in the game. We haven't run across any, but there are. So we do get the tabard. So that does not change, which is actually good. I wouldn't think it would have, but what was down here again? Oh yeah, it was our little artifact, not artifact, but journal entry, and then we should have no problem beating him this time. I have full mana, whatevs, and not full health, but more than enough health to defeat this guy. I'm actually a little surprised I didn't defeat him. I got a little little distracted with having to talk. So I think we'll beat this boss, and we'll probably call it an episode, or at least it'll be good enough for a quick peek. So he's relatively easy if you can just kind of get his pattern down, and you can see I'm playing much better right now. He did get me there, but he hit me once that time. Picked up quite a bit of gold, but no actual, no item for beating him necessarily. And warning, yep, that's fine. We'll save again. I do want to get back to town, and I do want to pick up our first ability, because there are multiple abilities. There's the slide, and there are other ones. So there's a little different biome, and this is where we're going to pick up slide. This is where you always pick up slide, I believe. So we climb these little vines. I do like the way the game looks. I like the way the game controls. I think it controls extremely well. We can't make that jump yet, but we can pick up slide. So hold down and press jump to slide. Then we can slide under these areas now. Overall, though, what are my impressions of the game? I'm excited for it. I can't wait till it comes out. I will do a playthrough of it on my channel. I think that there's some depth to it. I think early the combat is a little bit hack and slash, but I think you need to know your enemy's movement patterns. And if you don't know the enemy's movement patterns, then you're going to have a tough time. But once you do, all right, so here's a shortcut back to the entrance. There's nothing there for us. That's just a guy. So we can get back to the entrance here, go back up to town, and then we can easily teleport back there. However, we probably won't want to. I did want to make a special note that this thing was boarded up. It's no longer boarded up now that we've returned this lady. We can talk to our cat. I thought we could talk to our cat. We cannot. We want to pick up this item. It is a bottle, so we can get potions. And then this will be like our collection. So fossils, coins, feathers, vessels, figurines, personal effects, arrowheads. It's all the trinkets that we've collected, basically. And then we can talk to our lady. Confirm, I'm always looking to add to my trinket collection. I will gladly trade you something special for every 3 trinkets you bring me. So we talk to her again. You found 3 trinkets. Take this. This should help. Max 3 HP up. So we got that elixir of life or whatever. We can go talk to this lady again, and she'll fill up our little shop. Well, I guess we could talk to her. Do my eyes deceive me? Another lonely traveler approaches. I have an assortment of magical items for sale. Have a look, won't you? So we can shop. So we can look at what we want to buy. We can buy a fireball, which is attack goes down to 7. I don't think it's any better than our magical knife. You can buy a silver ring that increases our intelligence. It does not actually increase our attack with our B weapon at the moment, but I think if we got 1 more intelligence, it would. This increases our constitution. I believe it's our constitution, which is probably health, maybe, and our defense. There's all these other ones. There's a turban. Defense by +3 and Constitution by +3. That's pretty amazing, actually. Magical shield, summon a spell that protective shield. Tabard, we already have, and a magical axe. We could sell some shit, except for we have it all equipped. Do we have it all equipped? We have 2 shivs. We have 2 shivs. I want to fucking sell a shiv to you. It's weird, I guess, that we can't sell it. I don't know if that's a bug or probably not a bug. It's probably intended. Maybe you have to unlock somebody else. Maybe the blacksmith or something. Because this looks to be the blacksmith's house, and she was more of a alchemist. Anyways, so I don't claim to be the expert on the game, but overall I think the game is very strong. I'm excited for it. Hopefully, I'm not saying you should go out there and pre-order it. I'm not a huge fan of pre-ordering, but I just wanted to play the game early. And if I get to pre-order and play it early, I think it was, worth my time. So, as I mentioned, we've got our map here again, and we can, we can go back down here now that we have our slide. That was fucking just bad damage all around. Looks like we might level up again. Maybe. We can get over here this way. Yoink, yoink. You gotta just be quick with the steel and quick with the something and handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. That's Warren G. So now we can access this area that was previously inaccessible, and then go this way, and then do this, and it's, oh shit, here's a temple. Will I sacrifice 50? Sure, why not? And we get a Cestus, which is a new weapon. So I think it's a good place to end it. Pretty good game. Something like I said, I'm a fan of. And hopefully, I don't know, hopefully it turns out as good as it is so far, because I think it's very playable, enjoyable. I like the progression. I like the speed at which it moves. The story, haven't gotten into the story too much. Obviously, we're 18 minutes into the game, but it's cool. If you're into Metroidvanias, Axiom Verge is one that just came out. It's a Metroidvania. If you're into Metroid, if you're into Castlevania, all that stuff is very, all those kind of mechanics are very much prevalent here with the procedural generation and the seeds and the potential speed running, and there's, I think, the hardcore mode. There's a lot here to be excited about. So if you like the video, let me know in the comments, or show your support by leaving a like on it. That definitely helps, or subscribing, and we will catch up with you in the next video. Thanks again. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.